Hi, and welcome to my acoustic classic blues lesson for the month of July 2015. And this month we're going to take a look at one of the true masterpieces of acoustic blues guitar, country blues guitar, and this is called the Mississippi Blues by Willie Brown. I'm going to try as much as possible to teach you the 1942 version as much as I can hear it and figure out what he's doing. I've also borrowed ideas from the playing of Stephen Grossman, who I first learned this song from on a instructional tape. Also, I have a friend of mine who plays a pretty cool version of the song, and his is based on the version by Roy Bookbinder, which is a little more recent. But anyway, as I go through the tune, it's in the key of A. There's a introduction, really cool turnaround. The turnaround is probably the most complicated part. There's a solo, which is really neat. One of the coolest things I think ever recorded as far as acoustic blues goes. And then there's the main lick, the main verse that he plays over the 1 and the 4 as he sings the song. And so what I'm going to do is start out by teaching you that part, because I think that's the part that most of you really want to learn how to play. And then there's some things you can substitute for the other parts of the song, but this part you have to play it as it is. If you notice on my guitar, I've got a capo at the 3rd fret. Now when I listen to the original recording, I'm talking the 1942 version. You can find this on YouTube. But to get it to sound in the same key, that's where I put my capo. Now he could have tuned up and then had his capo like somewhere else, or he could have done something bizarre. Who knows? There's no film, no information about Willie Brown whatsoever. And there's even 2 different Willie Browns. The Willie Brown that did Future Blues and M&O Blues. And it's not the same Willie Brown apparently as did Mississippi Blues. So I'm going to start out and show you the main part of the song. And this will be lesson number 1, and then we'll do a lesson for the turnaround, and we'll do a lesson for the solo. And then here is the main verse, and it goes like this. Stop right there. That's where the turnaround comes in. And when he goes from the 5 back to the 1, it's really complex. And so we're going to just start out with that simple first part of the song. And if you don't learn how to play any other part of the song, this part is just fun to play. But hopefully you want to put the whole thing together. And before we put it together, I'm going to show you the 2 separate parts. And that's one of the hard things about playing country blues guitar in general, is a lot of times you look at it and you think, wow, he's doing something with his thumb, he's doing something with his fingers, totally, separate from each other. And one of the most important ideas that helped me get the hang of this kind of guitar was the idea of pinching. And what I mean by that is there's certain places where you're going to pinch the bass note and the treble note, and that makes it so much easier to play, makes it, in fact, possible to play. And so the bass on this tune is we're going to be alternating simply between the 6th and the 5th string, open. More like that, 5th, 6th. And nothing fancy there. And then on the treble strings, we're playing. And then we're walking into it. Help but doing the bass. It's kind of a reflex. But what I'm doing is starting with my first finger, going from the 4th fret to the 5th fret to the 6th fret. That's from the capo. Then I'm going to keep that finger there and drop in my second finger on what would be the 7th fret, 3, 4, 5, 7th fret of the 1st string. And my second finger my 3rd ring finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And you get that double stop. Then I'm going to slide to where my first finger is on the 5th fret, 1st string, and my ring finger is on the 7th fret. So that double stop. And then this one is just a simple double stop, 1 finger, first finger on the 1st and 2nd strings of the 5th fret. So the whole thing Now the way that note walks in, sounds like sometimes he's walking at each note one at a time. Or you could just slide, so like this. Something like that. Listen to the original carefully. That's one part of the song I'm still not 100% sure on. He seems to mix it up, do different things each time. Now, putting the two together, how do you get that bass together with that seemingly really complex melody part? Well, the key is the very first pick. And when you pick that first note with your first finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, you're pinching. And you're going to pinch the open 5th string. So that is the first thing. So, and then you're going to come down on the 6th string. Now what I'm doing to mute those is putting my right hand palm very gently on the 6th and 5th strings, maybe even the 4th string down there at the bottom. So I pinch. Start out practicing that. So he doesn't pinch this, the timing. Just, minute difference between when he picks the third string and the 6th string. I don't even think he's picking that. He's sliding. So that's the first part. Watch the bass, pinch. And there's like 3 places in this where you pinch, and it makes the whole thing easy. If you're sitting there thinking, how can I do this? You got to get that part down. I've written the tab out to help you with that. I'm not the greatest at writing tab for acoustic finger picking stuff, but I think it'll be good enough to help you out. So that pinch. Then he goes to that double stop. Then he comes down on the open 5th string. So that's the next part. So let's put it all together. Now I'm taking my palm off so you can really hear that ring out. So just make sure you know what you're doing here. And there's pinch number 2. So when he hits this, he is pinching or getting the open 6th string. So here we go again. So that bass. One more time. Pinch. Pinch. And then he's going to get the double stop. So one more time. And then right away, he's going to go into this. That's that same pinch. The open 5th string and the 4th fret of the 3rd string. Pinch. It's hard for me to say pinch and play that at the same time. I'm not real good at that. I don't see how he sang this song and played all this at the same time. So let's walk through that again. You get this part of the song, everything else you can play. So again, pinch, 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 whoops, and then pinch, pinch, and then the open E string, pinch, 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 pinch. Can't keep up, but that's the idea. Let me play that for you real slow one more time. And then before he goes the 4, he hits the open 6th string. So take that part of the song and just practice it over and over again until you get it. That's how I did it. And it's not as hard as it looks once you get the hang of it. I tried to work in a little variation there on that. Now the next part, when he goes to the 4, he's going to start out after the open 6th string. He's going to do this double stop between the 6th and the 4th strings. He starts out with his first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string and his second finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And he's pinching it, again, that word. All the way he's going to move it from there, down one, down another one. So where he ends up with his ring finger on would be the 5th fret of the 6th string and his first finger on the 4th fret of the 5th string. So he walks into the 4. It's more like this. And this leads us into this next part, which again seems incredibly complicated. The key to this part is knowing the chords that you're playing here. So we're starting out when we walk. That's the melody. I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm going to put it on the 3rd string of the 5th fret and my pinky right next to it on the 2nd string. And what I'm doing is starting. I'm going to pick the 3rd string first, holding that chord shape. So actually, I'm going to pinch the 6th string and the 3rd string. And then get the open, or get the 2nd string. And then come down with my thumb on the 4th string. So that's, I'm trying to think how to teach this best. So hold that chord shape right there. Pinch 6th and 4th string, get the 2nd string, and then come down with the thumb. It's an alternating bass. Come down with the thumb on the 4th string. So the whole thing. Practice that. Whoops. Just got to break this down. And once you break down each part and see what he's doing, you speed it up until you get more comfortable with it. So one last time. And then we're going to go to another chord shape. Whoops, like this. Which is really like a D shape. So I don't know what chord this is supposed to be. So what I've got is my thumb. I think I'm hearing that on the 4th fret of the 6th string. And then I'm making a D shape. So make like a D chord. You'd normally do it on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. Just move it over. And I've got my first finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. I've got my ring finger on the 5th fret, 4th fret of the 3rd string. And I've got my second finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So you're going with the bass, and you'll see, so it's like this. Same picking pattern, pinching the 4th, or the 6th and the 3rd string. First finger getting the 2nd string, and you're coming down with your thumb on the alternating bass on the 4th string. So the whole thing. One more time. I'm putting my pinky down just because out of habit playing the diminished chord. You don't have to. You don't have to put the pinky there. just do it. So the whole thing again. And then the last one's easy. Just going to pinch the 3rd string at the 2nd fret with the 6th fret, 2nd string. And I'm using my 1st finger on the 6th string and my 2nd finger there, because then I can just switch to that, because I'm going to come down again. So the whole lick. And then he kind of chokes that off. And walks again. And then so that whole second part. And I think right before he goes into that, he gets the open 6th string. Let's do it again. Whoops. Maybe he doesn't. Let's do that one more time. Yeah, I think he does. That's the part we'll get into with the next lesson, because that turnaround part is also the introduction to the song. So we'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone.